Hey guys, ECRG here. Today I'm going to be talking about a funny little topic. What is an FTE? Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about FTE, or full-time equivalent for short. The FTE is basically what they use to allocate you to certain studies in clinical research. Now, other professions may have this as well, specifically if they are budget based and client based, and everything has to be mapped out ahead of time to how much time people are going to be spending on a particular project or how much time they're going to be spending on a particular task. But in clinical research, we have what's called an FTE. So, for example, a zero point 0.5 FTE is equivalent to 20 hours. So 0.5 is literally half your time. So if you're spending half your time on a study and you're using a 40-hour work week, that's about 20 hours per the week, and so on down the line. You can get allocated at anything from a 0.5 to a 0.2, a 0.1, on all the way up to a 1.0. 1.0 is a full-time allocation. So that means all of your time is going to be spent on that one study. Now, preferably, I like to be put on at probably like a 0.9 FTE, because a lot of times when they measure these FTEs, they're not taking into account any of the training you have to do in clinical research, which is a lot of training. Every time you are put on a new study, or every time SOPs are updated for the company that you're working for, anytime there's a protocol update, anytime there's anything kind of update in clinical research, you have to go be trained on it and you have to read through it. So most people are put on studies. They could be divvied up 0.5, 0.3, 0.5, 0.5, or something on multiple studies, but they don't take into account the time it takes to train. First of all, they don't take time to account any kind of social events at your company, or any type of social committees, or anything like that, or anything extracurricular. The time is just focused on study allocation. So you have department meetings. Usually that's not included in that FTE. You just kind of got to work it in. And, that's FTE is what they use in clinical research. So I prefer to be put on studies 1 or 2 at the max, depending on what your position is. A lot of people like to be on less so that you have more time allocated to that study, but there's also pros and cons of that as well. If you're put on less studies, yeah, you're going to be a master of those studies. Yeah, you're going to know more about those studies, but also it could be harder to take time off on those studies because there are not going to be as many other people to help back you up during that time period. So there are pros and cons to being at a full FTE or at a half FTE. And if you're split up, let's say 0.25 across 4 studies, then obviously you're not going to know as much about each individual study. But it's going to be a good thing, just in case your company loses one study, then you've got 3 other studies to fill your time. So I feel like diversification with the FTEs is, somewhat of a blessing, because if you lose one study, then you've only got to replace one study because you have 3 others. So it's kind of some wiggle room there. Sometimes I feel like I want to be on just one study, and then other times I feel like I want to be on multiple studies. And there could be different reasons why. One other reason why is the experience. You could be on a study where you don't like what you're doing. You don't like the task you're assigned. So, if that's your only study, then sad day for you. That's what you're going to be doing for all of your time. But if you're assigned on multiple studies and you have one study where you don't like the task you're doing, at least that's only a small part of your weekly workflow. And hopefully you can talk to your manager about getting that study, transferred to someone else and you put on a different study. That's a lot more likely to happen than if they have to replace a whole study for you. So pros and cons to both full FTE and being at all different FTE allocations. So thank you guys for listening to this video. Like, share, subscribe. Comment down below what other videos you would like to see. Definitely want to do more like kind of niche videos about FTE and like weird things like that in clinical research. So comment down below anything you would like for me to cover. As always, email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com for any inquiries you may have. Resume review program, email us there. Career coaching, getting into clinical research, email us there. Take care, guys.